All right, so now we're going to apply the warm front, cold front, high pressure, and low pressure weather symbols to a weather map to interpret what the weather map is saying for current weather and predict where that weather is going to travel and who's going to be affected by it later. So this first slide is just some main map symbols. And these are some symbols that you'll see, some general symbols that you'll see on a lot of different versions of maps. Okay, so the things that we're really going to cover are, what does a jet stream do? I'm going to keep that really simple. How can you tell the direction of a front or a pressure system is moving? What weather comes from a cold front and a warm front, and what weather comes with high pressure and low pressure. And then these are our symbols. We have the different precipitation symbols. So you have rain and thunderstorms. Some maps will illustrate thunderstorms with little lightning bolts. And then snow. Sometimes snow will also be illustrated as like snowflakes. Cloudy is a black circle. Partly cloudy is half. It almost looks like a yin and yang symbol. Clear skies is an open circle. And then high pressure and low pressure will be represented with a capital H and a capital L. And then again, our cold front with our icicles, our triangles, and our warm front with our little half circles or suns. Okay? So I feel like the best way to teach this is to answer some questions about it. So the first one says, a jet stream is a global pattern of atmospheric movement that influences patterns in local weather. So basically it's this giant wind current in our atmosphere, and it blows from west to east, and it's illustrated by these arrows, these gray arrows. So as you can see, it's coming from the west coast of the United States all the way across to the east coast. You have a key right here, so it identified the jet stream. It has a warm front, cold front labeled, but I don't see any on the map. I just see two pressure systems, a high pressure and a low pressure system, and 4 cities. So the question says, based on the information provided, which city shown will most likely experience a drop in pressure over the next few days? Okay, so a drop in pressure. And when we look at our map, the first thing we're going to do is identify where that low pressure system is to begin with. Okay, so what we discussed is we underlined drop in pressure over the next few days. We identified that Jacksonville is our current city experiencing a low pressure system, but due to the jet stream, this low pressure system is going to move up toward Baltimore. So in the next few days, Baltimore should be experiencing a drop in pressure. For our second question, it mentions a jet stream again, and how it influences local weather patterns. We have our key, which is the same, but now we can see that the jet stream is illustrated. We have a cold front represented by the triangles, and we have a warm front. Okay, so the first thing that I want to talk about is, how do we know what direction these fronts are moving? So you see how on the cold front, the triangles are kind of pointing down, maybe southeast, and on your warm front, your half circles are pointing north. So that means that this warm front is moving north, and this cold front is moving southeast. The shape on the front is going to point in the direction that it moves. Okay, so based on the information provided, which city shown most recently saw a rise in temperature? So we already analyzed our map, which is step 1. Step 2 is to underline keywords. So we determined that the warm front was moving north, so the city that experienced the most recent rise in temperature, which is associated with a warm front, would be Louisville. It is the closest city south of this warm front. Okay, so the warm front's moving north, meaning it passed through Louisville a few days ago, so they had some precipitation and an increase in temperature. I'll also point out that Denver most recently saw a drop in temperature because they just had a cold front pass through them. And this cold front is going to affect Shreveport and Louisville in probably a couple of days. For this question, the jet stream, it talks about the jet stream again. We have a map where you can see a couple low pressure systems and a high pressure system. The question says, in general, one can expect clear skies with high pressure and cloudy conditions in areas of low pressure. Based on the information in that provided in the map, which city shown most likely is currently experiencing clouds but will see clear skies in the near future? So let's underline keywords and analyze our map. So we analyzed our map. We identified Los Angeles is experiencing some cloudy weather. Omaha in the upper Midwest is experiencing clear skies due to this high pressure system, and Cleveland is experiencing clouds due to this low pressure system. So Los Angeles and Cleveland are both experiencing clouds, but the only city that should expect to experience clear skies is going to be Cleveland, because the jet stream is pushing this high pressure system in that direction, in that northeastern direction. So in like 2 to 3 days, Cleveland will be experiencing clear skies. Okay, so last question. The jet stream is a global pattern of atmospheric movement that influences patterns of local weather. So I can see the jet stream blowing again from west to east. I see a warm front that's moving north because the symbols are pointing north. And I see a cold front that is pointing south. So that cold front is going to be moving south. The question says rain and even severe thunderstorms are often associated with the passage of a cold front. Based on this information and that of the weather map, what city is most likely going to experience precipitation in the next few days? So let's go through and underline our keywords. So we have our keywords underlined. We look at our map. Where is this cold front headed to? What city should experience the severe precipitation and drop in temperature from this cold front? It's moving south. The next city that is going to be affected is going to be Nashville. It is the only city in its path. Now, Bismarck is also going to experience some precipitation in the next couple of days, but they're going to be getting some warmer weather with that. Their temperature is going to increase because they have a warm front that is moving in that direction. Okay, and Albany, New York, just had severe thunderstorms and a drop in temperature because that cold front just passed through them, and now it's headed to Nashville, which answers our question on which city is going to experience the precipitation from the cold front over the next few days. In your weather maps reading practice, you guys have 2 weather maps, and you're going to answer several questions over them where you just look at these symbols and analyze the map like we practiced in all of these questions here today. Okay, you have several attempts, so keep practicing so that you guys are ready for your quiz.